Alrighty guys, I am starting kind of shaky because this is the first time with a little shaver, as you can see. Going very careful, not seeing anything, the first time for everything. Doing it on the other side of my head, kind of trying to catch up with the line, trying to figure out the angles off. Trying to figure out the angles of view, it's not easy the first time. I switched to a clipper, actually at the lowest, zero close pretty much. And doing the same thing because I don't think it made a huge difference with the previous small clipper. Getting that line, trying to get that line, because remember this is the first time I am doing it. Nice little tail in the back, making sure it's nice and even. And again, I'm using no guard, fully closed clipper to get that nice and short trim. Looking a little uneven, but it's okay, don't worry about that. The final product should look much better. Getting rid of that little spot that you see there in the back. And again, the angle of your mirror is crucial, and it's not as easy as it looks at first. But then you're gonna get used to it and it will definitely get better. Alright, so I'm kind of doing the same thing all the barbers do, looking all professional, but I'm not, because like I said, it's the first time. I'm a healthcare provider, I'm not a barber, but I think the final result might be very interesting, and I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. As you can see, there's a couple of spots here and there, but again, that's not a big deal. Just keep working at it, keep trimming it at zero full guard and the guard closed. I'm gonna get a little of my sideburns right here because I saw a little spot on that side. Working on the back, I figured that there's not much need to use your mirror when you're working low, obviously, because you're not gonna get too far with that clipper. Trying to make it nice and even though you see it's a little bit off, but again, once again, I watched many YouTube videos, and don't worry about the part that is not even. So I am going halfway, so it's half open compared to fully open. So fully open and half open, as you can see, and gently flicking at that line. Again, this is my first time seeing what's gonna happen, trying to get rid of that hard line. Looking at the back, trying to see how can I get to that point of view, because again, camera, light, and the mirror are kind of on the way. Getting rid of that harsh line, that zero, no attachment created. And the thought was to actually go 1 inch above, but then again, so here I put one clipper and keep going with it. Looks interesting. I'm kind of scared at the same time because you can see that I'm like what am I doing? I'm trying to cut my hair, but should I do it or not? But trust me, it is well worth it. And as you can see, that bottom line looks kind of harsh, but we'll fix it later, hopefully. Again, trying to look professional and doing it like a barber, doing it fast. Blending those lines in a little bit here and there. Alright, you can see the top line looks a little better, the bottom line still more visible, but I'll be working at it. Alright, this is number 1. I am putting on number 2. The assumption is it should be fully open, so you have enough slack to actually go under the line and make it a little shorter to actually blend it in. So you usually start with fully open guard, and then you go halfway just a little bit, and then when you're completely ready to blend it in, you're actually going full closed guard. Working on the back. I know it's not as interesting, but just hang with me. Because I've seen lots of videos and sometimes you're like, man, I wish that video was a little longer, so I decided to make it longer. And hopefully you guys will like it. So here I am looking at my overall length of my hair. Kind of bald here and there, but it's alright, not a big deal. Maybe a couple of years from now I'll just be shaving it completely bald. But I'm separating my left and right side so I can cut it nicely and evenly, because I do like to leave a little bit longer hair closer to my forehead. So making that midline so I can have it nicely trimmed with the scissors. So do it at the angle, start at desired length, and then kind of trim short towards the back of the head. And again, this is not finished product, guys. I know it looks kind of suspicious, but I'm telling you that will look much better at the end. Probably not at the end, but more towards the end, and when I actually added a couple more corrections. So I'm doing the same thing with the right side. As long as it's nice and even, you should be good. Alright, now I'm gonna look at overall length of my hair, see if there's anything sticking out. And we'll get back to number 3 again to get to the top of the hair to make it even better. And I'm kind of doing random things. I'm going from clipper to scissors, but because I thought it might give me a better angle, better idea when I'm actually cutting my hair, so you guys just hang with me. So I'm trimming it with a 3 open. I guess that's gonna be my final. I'm not sure if I went with number 4, but I believe I went with a 3. That was the max. So 3 fully open, and then you go halfway and less to actually blend in that line. Alright, overall looks okay. You can still see that line at the bottom, I guess, where the 1.5 was. Blending it nicely in. And again, you don't have to worry, just go straight up. Don't worry about cutting extra hair, because you will trim it later. And number 3 is actually really good length if you're looking for that kind of shorter, nicer with a longer hair at the top. So once again, I'm using scissors to trim the sides. Use your hand as a guide. Grab it nicely, trim it from left to right, and then when you go in, this is in the middle, same thing in the middle. Actually, it's a really good guide. Your hand is a really good guide. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I kind of feel the edges of scissors and cutting with it. It looks extremely professional, I'm telling you, but trust me, the results should be good. So now I'm going on the left side, trying to get as much hair on the left side so I can actually cut it properly and make that length appropriate for my taste. Okay, lots of boring stuff, but I love it. So the mid part right here, we're also gonna follow the shape of your hand. You see how my hand goes, my fingers go, my fingertip steps at the back, and it kind of goes towards the head, towards the front of the head. Again, this is the side. I am following the shape of my head while just holding with my fingers. A little more trim on the left side of the head. Looks good. And again, we're not even finished yet, guys. I still can see the line, the hard line at the back of my head. And again, I am following the shape of my head while using scissors. I'm gonna do a little check. You see that line right there, but overall it looks okay. It looks pretty even if you think about it. Again, once this is the first time video, it looks like I'm using number 1 to get rid of that line. Again, it looks so professional that I've done many times before, but I noticed that when barbers do it fast, it looks much better than them when they're doing it much slower. And if I'm wrong, if any of you barbers watching, you guys definitely comment and let me know, because I am a beginner and I am open to constructive criticism. All right, so working on the back with the same clipper, and that should be halfway closed to get rid of that line. Okay, you can still see that. But if you look at the top of the head, it looks okay, it looks better. Definitely that little trimming helped a lot with the scissors. Again, the line is still a little visible, but it looks much better than before because it's starting to slowly disappear. I am using no guard at the moment and getting rid of that harder line. Went through a couple of times, looks cleaner. Working it out more. Alright, so overall it looks good. I have that little spiky hair in the back, but then it's starting to slowly blend in, which is amazing, because once again it was a little scary in the beginning because I do work in the hospital, so imagine I have a messed up hair. That'll be lots of fun to come in and get laughed at. So again, guys, I used a 0, 1, 2, and 3 only for this haircut and the scissors. We started with a 0, then we went with 1, 2, and 3. And to blend those parts in, you're obviously adding you're going from the full open guard to half closed or fully closed to actually have a nice blend. Alright, starting to look a little better. Still see that little slight line, but definitely has improved. And again, this is first time ever cut at home with no prior experience. So I am using my shaver to actually get that trim at the bottom a little better to blend it in, because I like to make it more of a skin fade. I'm going all the way around. Hopefully I'm not going to miss anything because I was not really looking. It looks clean. All right. I was checking my monitor, make sure that's still recording, because I do have a Sony camera with a monitor on top of that, Sony A7 III, and that monitor is really hard to turn around. Obviously it's not turning around, so I had to buy an additional external monitor, a little tiny one, little tiny Ninja. Alright, so I am still trimming with a 3 to get that nicer, to get rid of that line. What do you guys think? Overall, looks good for the first time ever. It definitely looks good. And again, you will take, in the beginning, it'll take you a lot of time to understand the angles and be able to see yourself and get used to cutting the other way around. So I am trimming more hair right now at the moment. You see there's excessive hair, just follow the shape of your head from left to right in the middle, and towards the back again, just lay your head flat so you can make it nicer. Alright, let's see how it looks overall. I will actually cut it a little more after that, but I was not recording to make it a little more smooth. But we'll see how the end result looks. I think it looks good. Not too bad for the first time ever. Pretty smooth. I'm pretty happy about it. Wow. Alright guys, this is the final version of my first ever haircut. Check it out. Let me know how it looks. I know there's some imperfections, but overall, I'm very happy with the outcome. Look at that. I just saved 20-30 bucks maybe, and my little clipper definitely got paid off. So why not? I think it looks good overall. Maybe a couple of lines that needs to be fixed, but I think for the next video that I'm gonna make, I will start with shorter versions of, like, I'll do the 1 inch and then blend that 1 inch instead of blending 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will start with 1 inch, then I'm gonna blend that 1 inch after, and then the second part, well, I'll blend in the second part, and I'll go from there. Because I think what I learned today, that if you go clipper number 1, clipper number 2, clipper number 3, it's kind of hard to blend it in right away unless you're a professional barber, which I'm not. So next time I will be cutting my hair, I will definitely do that. If you guys like that video, you guys want more of those videos coming up, please let me know. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll be making way more videos on random cool topics.